Man, going through 2018, Griselda has been a very bipolar experience. All three members, Benny, Westside, Gunn, and Conway, have dropped one of their best projects in 2018. But with the last two releases, Conway and Westside Gunn dropped the most mid projects I heard from them. Hope that's not what we're going to get here from Benny the Butcher, but I do have a little bit more faith in him because bar for bar, at this point in his career, he's a better rapper than both Gunn and Conway. And then two pre-Tana Talk, Benny was no stranger to bad production. So even if the production ain't good here, what's the worst that can happen? Does have a concerning amount of El Camino features, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Let's check this project out.
I fed my family off of dope cause the system was biased. I got with the suppliers, bricks in the Michelin tires. It's crazy.
Oh, I love that rhyme scheme right out the gate.
Till a pistol get fired, y'all just habitual liars. Suckers going to...
Bro, I'm telling you, it's not regular for niggas to come out here with these 5-syllable rhyme schemes and Benny just do it like it's nothing. That's part of why I say he's better than Conway and Westside Gunn bar for bar as far as 2018 is concerned.
I did my time in population, I stood amongst the brothers. Cause only thing I checked in was
like
my
the jail
luggage.
bars.
Sometimes I gotta think, am I...
Only thing I checked in was my luggage is dope. Talking about when he flying to a new city, he ain't got to check in with nobody.
Nightmares of agents combing through my recent raps. They gon' try to
Yeah,
match
storyteller is tough.
We got pulled in the Bronx, we was smoking buzz. They let us go cause they was trying to find dope and guns.
Hollow heads in the 9 cartridge. Shoot a circle your mom's apartment like they try and find parking. Niggas rhyme like they
I like that
bosses. Tired of guys talking about their diamonds dancing when they moms walk. Not religious, but I buy crosses. It was times I turned water to wine in my mind faucet. Y'all came off the porch very late.
That's cool. I like that line.
I've been doing this since DJs carry crazy.
I ain't mad at that song at all. I think the rapping definitely carried it. Fire verse from Benny, fire verse from Spesh. Benny was talking his street tales and his rhyme schemes fire, super intricate. He did have that one flow that y'all be accusing him of having, but I think the verse was good overall. Spesh's verse was fire. All braggadocio from him, and I think he had a couple of fire punches. The circle your mom spot like we trying to find parking, that was the best one. I think Benny had the better verse of the two, but it was only by a little bit. The beat is super forgettable. That's why I won't come back to this song too much. I don't think it was necessarily bad, but simple string pattern, unassuming drums. Some of the beats on My First Brick by Benny was pure trash, so I ain't complaining too much about this one. Could also probably do it out the chorus, but I don't think it take away from the song too much. This is India.
Respect my shit. You got to, nigga. You know what I mean? How could you not, nigga?
Automatically, him rapping on boom bap drums make him sound more at home. This sample just alright, but I like this vibe.
I'm really about this life. Y'all niggas play when the drugs come. Y'all take what the plug front, I pay what the plug want. Ask my bitch, I turn the vacate to a drug run.
I like that line. Other folks got to get the drugs fronted, but he had the money up front.
I remember riding down the VA. It was hectic. I was annoyed. I was skeptic. If I scored, then I'm connected.
Uh-oh, we finna get into these once upon a time bars. The storytelling.
Most importantly, Indy. For the risk she took with me. Put a job on the line to help turn 5 to 50. And when dough was the object.
That's fine. So this is my first time hearing this song, but India was on 5 to 50 and he mentioned the words 5 to 50. So that song was inspired by this song. That's tough.
You hit my line, I hit you back. You want a 9, I get you that. Don't pay on time, that get you taxed. I miss a dime, that get you whacked.
I like this flow right
Josh
here.
got shot, the rest of us was at a meeting. That weeks before a tour, in the middle of a war. Ops feeling like they up, and I done been through this before. I got
This is
secrets I
hard
can't tell.
right here.
I got demons in my closet. I can't remember faces of the people we done got with.
That imagery of him having 1 foot in the rap game and 1 foot in the drug game, that's tough and it's super vivid.
Shingun was my co-defendant. Now we gone and I'm
I like
coping
that
with
4-syllable rhyme scheme. He's still
we
going
had a
too.
chat, but before that, we ain't spoke a minute. So it's only right I hold it down. Rap sell blowing pounds when niggas who generals, just like Cole and Powell. It's hard being genuine.
I like that Cole and
when
Powell
y'all being
line.
feminine, like they pick up the traits of the bras they been chilling with.
Whew, that song is tough. I'm going back and trying to replay Benny's discog before Tana Talk 3, but that might be his best pre-Tana Talk 3 song. I think the beat was just aight. That's probably the one area where this song could improve, that and taking El Camino off of it. But dog, the 2 verses, amazing. Because the imagery was on a whole different level in that first verse. He was talking about using the 2 girls and then how India held him down and how he built his drug business off of their help. Then that second verse was super passionate. I love him talking about his brother Gunn. I love that 1 foot in the the game, 1 foot out the game in that first verse too. The lyricism was good throughout those verses. 2 fire verses from Benny. This is Long Way with El Camino again. This beat sound like the intro to an educational 90s video.
We about to do it like never before. Yo, I swear I came a long way from selling dope.
Reading Rainbow type beat.
Let's talk about a brick. I really flipped one on my steps. Crackers, hungers with ropes. That's why the stick one on my neck.
I kind of like the rope line, but I feel like I heard so many "we was in chains and now we wearing chains" lines, and that was like one of those in a different colorway.
My friends that's legal millionaires who never sleep and only eat at spots that got the name of the restaurant on the silverware. These niggas can't spit like me.
Hey, I ain't never seen that. I ain't never seen that. I eat at a restaurant with plasticware and a heartbeat.
Explore my options, moving like I knew the Lord was watching. You mentioned God in one of your songs, they try to call you conscious. Until they end up behind bars, they avoid the logic. I'm whipping quarters out the water, had to call it rhyming. Oh yeah, and like a Houston charter, we brought all the rockets to make it lock up like.
I low-key feel like I got bait and switched right there, because I thought I was finna get a cold bar, and then instead I got that we bring all the rockets like a Houston charter. That's so light.
Being up told him beat it when I called him not, and I'm back again, cause a problem. I guess the pressure.
The rhyme scheme is good though.
When stats tell you next up, the haters gon' say God bless you.
I think that song's okay. I think sequencing wise, it's kind of behind the 8 ball because it's behind India, which is such a great song. I think pretty much every element of this song was fine, but it was a significant step under India. Benny's rapping from a technical perspective was dope. He used a lot of intricate rhyme schemes. It was just we didn't get that same level of storytelling and imagery that we got on India and Mob Ties either. So in a vacuum, good verses in context of the album. That beat was like the cross section of Montana Street and Sesame Street. I swear that sample could have been on Magic School Bus. El Camino sound like every nigga in every hood that can kind of sing. Pretty easy to see why Stowe got Cook sing all the hooks now, and Camino ain't as heavily featured. Whatever though, okay song. This is 03 Draft. These dumb niggas got the apostrophe on the wrong side of the 0 and the 3.
I learned the pill game for when the bills came. Outside in the blizzard like a Bills game. I knew wax
We
my
up to a
whole
strong
life,
start.
and it still ain't changed. Fucking 30, 1 bullet, it'll spill his brain. I'm cooking now, I'm heating up. My feet is up, my eyes
He is
low,
not cooking.
my speakers up. No disrespect, big. I told that bitch to sit and puff. I listen to these new rappers to see what's all the fuss.
When I was 18, me and LeBron James got drafted at the same time. Only
Oh,
difference
this is about to be corny.
he went to the NBA.
And where'd you go?
Federal prison.
Griselda.
Oh my goodness. This is why you need friends who don't lie to you. Somebody should have told him not to put that in there.
Cause hate with bosses link. How these niggas talking street, but they spend their whole careers dodging beef. My last brick came with Dodger seats. I drove it home,
I
chopped
like
the L,
that.
and burnt the hole in the Porsche seats. Got whipped up 9s. I ain't just sick with lines. I did the time.
I like the braggadocio
Sold
right
18
here.
up the slab before the shit was mine. My man shot the same nigga 2 different times. He didn't die. In court, we blew a kiss to the victim mom.
Hey, I ain't mad at Benny verse. Dart low is like when a football player play basketball. Just a ton of energy and no skill. He had a real emphatic delivery, but he ain't say half of nothing. For what it's worth, I don't think his rhyme schemes were bad. They also weren't that impressive, but they weren't bad. The beat I'm a little torn on, because on one hand, I think those violins sounded dated and the drums weren't impressive, but Benny sounded really good on that beat. I think it was kind of the energy of the beat matched with the energy of Benny's delivery, who I think he was trying to match Dark Low's energy. So I don't love that song, but I do think it's pretty good overall, despite Dark Low not being that great. Benny put the niggas on his back on that one. This is Made in America.
No other way. 40 on my waist, I blow your ass away. Bitch, get on my way, yeah, help me get this
I like this
change.
beat.
You can hand me my blender and a dinner plate.
Believe it or not, I like when El Camino sings in his like regular rap voice, as opposed when he's trying to get into that like R&B register.
Turn this shit up, turn this shit up.
Money over bitches, ain't no other way.
This is like the simplest chorus, but it's also the best one.
Rockin' Gucci out of name is the big tiger, the real cat. Got a record deal, but treat my phone like it's still tapped. If I'm not the best, double check. Scarf with the double F's. When my trap open up, the bundle's fresh.
His
Street
bundle's
nigga,
fresh
I don't
rhyme
got
scheme
one
is tough,
regret. Now,
especially
I
'cause he
only
going
want
back to back
respect,
with
I'ma
it.
stop lining niggas like Uncle Leck. I'm on my shit.
I like that
I'm
line.
humble left. I only trust my clip. Suck my dick, nigga, humble that.
Yo, I've been counting money at my bitch house.
I know
sold
you
a
lying.
brick off a Porsche, she want my shit out.
Yo, I know you
I
lying.
was selling dummy birds, that was in the drought.
Bro, they did not mix this like
08
this.
had no cake on my sister couch. Me and D-Nail was on shit, we went half on the 9. Them high point, shoot like shit, but look nice when you
mixed
ride.
this?
I'm in this.
Nah, they need to take that engineer out bad like, oh, Yella. That was unacceptable. Man, I wouldn't download no song with that kind of mix off of LimeWire. That was bad. I have no idea how that made it onto the final cut of the album. If that was on a demo, I hand that back. That was bad. You had a solid Benny verse, best beat on the album. Niggas was running down the sideline in an open field and just fumbled the ball. Song sounded like a social experiment in how to ruin a song in 30 seconds. This is 102 with Skyzoo.
Since the last time we did this, they still
Just the juxtaposition of quality of going from Duffelbag Hottie. This nigga name is Duffelbag Hottie. I should have knew what the deal was to Skyzoo.
Hunter Part 2, we still hunting. My day one still get a thrill from it. With airheads and the air tech, they still dumbing and they still dumping. And I'm still
Airheads and the air tech still dum-dums in the tech. Ugh.
based on their reaction. Stranger things can happen. We got them wish jumping out their mouth like Will Summon.
I love that Stranger Things flip.
Said to eat like you never ate is what the be on. And how to pull a buck and a half out of Dodge Neon, right? Benny the Butcher, scholar writer, but throwing titles back and forth like buying out the suppliers.
This the type of respect that money can't buy. Never seen a pig with wings or a sun that can't shine. Turned the hat to an ounce
I like
about
that.
28 times. A little short with the bag is still 28.5. It's in my DNA. I
Go.
gave workout blood. I lifted weight off the block without workout gloves. We wrong.
The DNA line's fired, the lift weight without workout. I heard flips like that, but just in the context of the rhyme scheme and the flow on the line that came before, checks out to me.
I'm probably too real for this rap shit. Straight A, my only chase bank was a mattress. Gave my daughter money every
I
time
like
got
that.
a packing. Hustler like a pops. She ain't spin it, she just stacked it. Boys in the
That song is hard. I'll say that's up there with India. I'll say the song was a little bit more well-rounded than India was because the core was fire, beat was a little bit better than India. Skyzoo floated over his verse. I think he slightly had the better verse out of the two. Benny started his verse really, really strong, and I don't think he tailed off that much. The effortless flow from Skyzoo, the punches from Skyzoo. He had the best feature verse, which isn't saying a lot. It was really between him and 38 Special, but one of the best verses on the whole album, period. Beat probably could have had better drums, but I do like that sample. I like how laid back the beat is. It fit both Benny's aesthetic and Skyzoo's aesthetic perfectly. Definitely a worthy follow-up to The Hunter. With deep regret, we are about to listen to another Duffel Bag Hottie feature. This is a lot. Oh, this is... Oh, no.
Yo, 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 yo. I swear I came up from a little to a lot, to a lot. You know
What-
I'm
yo, what are
saying?
we
Kept my
doing,
fingers
dog?
on the grind.
What are we doing?
Swinging, they was feeding for them rocks. My niggas, bitches think these niggas on the road. 40 on my waist was probably trying to sell an eighth. Mama said if you don't get that shit
Oh
up on
my
plate.
goodness.
Yo, I swear you should have seen the look on mama's face. Yo, I swear you snuff shots that homies left them stretched. The other side, they pussy when we slide them niggas fast.
He's just basic bars.
I see some niggas scheming with their eyes up on my chest. Them niggas think I'm sweet with this medallion on my chest.
So like Benny's been in controversy before because he had this like verse giveaway thing and he was really just like scamming niggas taking their money. I now know how they felt. I got scammed into that song. I did not sign up to hear no El Camino and Duffel Bag Hottie song. That could have been Duffel Bag Hottie on both verses, or that could have been El Camino on one and Duffel Bag Hottie on the other. I don't really care. Whoever was on that second verse, the second verse was worse. But just 3 minutes, 44 seconds, not a single bar, one syllable rhyming. Flow is the only thing that was like decent. Like if you don't know English or if English is your second language, this might be the song for you. Thankfully, the mixing was fine. The beat was mid though. Benny should delete this off of Spotify. This is Jackpot.
Lost niggas, poor nigga, that's small switches. We know for letting letting them go, call us the 4-5ers. Run up in your spot, they call us the door kickers. Or we can have a party just long as it's hard with us. These bitches big, jet skis and 4-wheelers. Pop a couple spades, I may let you ball with us. Hit a couple stains, nothing personal, war business. Spin my name up and now I'm on verse.
That's not a bad verse at all. That's not a bad verse from El Camino at all. He took that same 3-syllable rhyme scheme from start to finish. They could have mixed his voice a little bit better, but that was pretty good. Not gonna lie. Probably anything would sound pretty good compared to that last song, but I ain't mad at that verse.
I get dressed, put on my shoes, no, my hammer was first. Bulletproof the whip I used to take my grandma to church. I went gram for gram with the work, hand in hand on the first. Everybody who hating now was a fan of us first.
All right, this is a verse that he used on his Fire in the Booth freestyle. I'm a huge fan of this verse.
Whipping deuces till them hoopties turn into Porsches. I curve bitches often, lies. I heard bitches talking, how she minds. I send a text back, these bird bitches stalking. You gotta be careful, these hoes think they fancy. I just want my dick sucked, she wanna start a family. You spend your life with her, me, I give a night to her. Cause Drake told these bitches, they don't gotta be nice to us. 1,000 grams on the plate, that's what my preference was. So I had interviews with Connects and not the Breakfast Club. Facts.
Fire.
You told me 26, I was 30 before that. I heard you scored that, you was 30 before rap, nigga.
I ain't mad at that. Very uninspiring beat, but I like both the verses from Camino and Benny. Now, I will say these niggas can't pull no fast one over me. Benny laid that verse down and then they put it over a beat because the flow didn't necessarily go with that beat, but you could tell that flow went with a beat. I think this came out before his Fire in the Booth freestyle, so he already had this one in the tuck, but this verse goes really hard over the Fire in the Booth beat that they had. Nice verse from Camino too. He kind of surprised me a little bit. Overall, I think this was a pretty good project besides Benny doing everything in his power to mess this up. At this point in his career, his rapping is just undeniable. He's so great from a lyrical standpoint. And then you throw in that imagery. He can punch pretty well. It's a little bit different than the last two projects that I reviewed from Conway and Westside Gunn because I thought the rapping was subpar from them. Also, I don't think the production was good per se, but compared to like My First Brick and 17 Bullets, I can tolerate this production. At the very least, the aesthetic of the beats fit him pretty good. Now, stuff started to go left with these features. Way too much El Camino, in my opinion. Outside of that last verse where he actually had a verse and not just a chorus, I could have did without all his other features. Duffel Bag Hottie, hopefully I never see that name ever again in my life. That mixing on Made in America was an abomination. And then the verse on A Lot, Disgrace, would have been fine not knowing who Dark Low was. Sky Zoo and 38 Special, it comes at no surprise, but they were fire. I think as far as the features, they kind of saved it. And then I think this project has two really outstanding highlights with India. Even though the beat was the best, those two verses from Benny, crazy. And then 102, Sky Zoo's verse, crazy. Best beat on the project, in my opinion. And then Benny barred with him. Inconsistent, but still pretty good project from Benny. Talent's undeniable here, and he's starting to show glimpses of putting it all together. I'm glad I heard this one.